think it's safe to say at this point that Disney and Lucasfilm made a massive mistake by taking Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny to the Cannes Film Festival to screen in front of all the critics, hoping to get a month and a half of good press before this movie came out. Instead, it was the exact opposite. The critics said what so many fans were worried about, that Phoebe Waller-Bridge ruins this movie, that nobody wants to see an Indiana Jones deconstructed, given the Luke Skywalker treatment like we saw from Lucasfilm. But that's what happened. And as a result, the box office projections started plummeting for this movie, to the point where everyone knows that this movie has virtually no chance of breaking even for Disney. Well, here you have it. Thursday night preview numbers are finally here, and it spells bad news for Disney, exactly what we thought. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny Thursday box office haul worse than The Flash, Fast X, and Transformers Rise of the Beast. And when you look at those comparisons, certainly none of those are doing great domestically right now. The official number is 7.2 million. Box office, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny digs up 7.2 million in Thursday previews. Harrison Ford returns as the adventurous archaeologist in the fifth and final installment, the movie that should not have been made. I did do a review of that over on RK Outpost Live. I will link that in the pinned comment so you guys can check that out if you want my spoiler and spoiler-free thoughts. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny dug up a solid 7.2 million in previews. That might be a solid number if this movie had, say, I don't know, $100 million budget, something like that. But considering it's one of the biggest budgets we've ever seen, $300 million, not including the marketing costs, and that this is a movie that likely needs to get somewhere in the realm of $850 to $900 million just to break even, no, 7.2 million is not solid. In fact, it's exactly the disaster that so many people have been predicting. Disney and Lucasfilm's long-awaited next installment is pacing to open up to $65 million or more over the 3-day weekend in advance of the July 4th holiday. The movie's preview grosses were on par with Fast X, 7.5 million, which that movie did not do well domestically. There's no way Indiana Jones performs the same as Fast X in terms of an international market. That's just not the case. In fact, it's set to open around 140 million, which is closer to what The Flash and Black Adam did compared to Fast X. If this thing opens, like they're saying, like we've been projecting, between 60 and 70 million, if it opens at 65, that is nearly a 33% drop from what we saw for the last Indiana Jones movie. In 2008, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull opened up to over $100 million domestically. That's back when tickets were almost half of what they are now. That's how big of a drop-off they've had in terms of their audience. That means that despite not seeing this character in theaters for 15 years, fans were not excited. Fans were not excited to see Harrison Ford play Indiana Jones again. They were not excited for another Disney Lucasfilm production. They weren't interested in watching another one of these heroes, these characters, these male heroes be destroyed and deconstructed in front of their very eyes. And they knew that's what awaited them when it came to Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. This opening is pretty much right on pace with what a lot of people expected, which is very, very bad news for Disney. That type of opening would suggest, based on the projections we're seeing domestically and internationally, that this might be a movie that struggles to hit around the $450 million range. If that is the case, this is a movie that will lose hundreds of millions of dollars for Disney, another Lucasfilm failure for Kathleen Kennedy, and another Disney bomb at the box office, of which there's been a lot lately. I'm sure they hope for better news. I'm sure they hope for something more positive than that, but unfortunately, no. The start is pretty much exactly the disaster that people expected. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.